Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is a report of day 1 through day 10 of Operation Promise for Roaring Fury. And it is a USA war with Iran. I compiled the timeline of events for the day 1 through day 10 up to today, which is the end of day 11 now, in effort to clearly see what we cannot see from the real-time reports, or even from what other reports are available now. But first is something which is the most important before I read the update of day 1 through 10. This is a very important part. This is the foundation of genocide, what it means, of what happens when there's a genocide. And I know this because we have a family history in Europe, and my mother's family, is generation after generation of Christian from the Bavarian South Germany. And the meaning of the Holocaust was, they said, you people who are generation of Europe no longer will be given any humanity from us. And the Christians said that we'll stop sharing our humanity with our own blood of Europe. And they used this, it was governments, and they used it as an excuse of how they could kill people. Well, they could only do it if they could say, some of you are bad. Then everyone else will say, okay, only he is bad. So what I'm going to say now is exactly about genocide. I am not an old woman. I am not 20 years old anymore. And I am in the 30 years. And I am not old. I have no child. My skin is the skin of a very young woman. And maybe there are other women who are 30 years old who don't look younger, and they maybe look very old. And there is a reason behind that, and why is coming from God. Because in order to have children, first you need the man. And when the man comes, the brain starts making this chemicals, and it brings it down, and these chemicals start pushing up, because when the man is there with the woman, then you can have children. So what happens is, when the woman is having the children are going to eat her. They're going to eat her soul, is going to eat her heart, and the only power she has is from her husband. He has to push that life, or the children will take everything from a woman. So what happens if the man does not love the woman, but the woman has the children? So then they eat all of the energy that's coming down, and nothing comes back to her. And the first thing is her sadness, and next is her tiredness. And then you will see that her face is looking like this, and you will forget, and she won't, the muscles on her face will be down, and the beauty is being taken away from her. Her beautifulness is being taken away. And every day that this woman is giving to these babies, she is remembering, this man is left me. He doesn't love me. He's never going to put the energy in me. I'm not going to get it. And this is another reason why it's not good to have children when you're very young. And there is a reward in having the children when you are older, because when you are younger, the minute you can have the babies, it doesn't mean that you have everything to give the babies. It just means it's the start of your relationship with the man. And this happens very fast. From the minute she is not a child, now it's the time, the man. It's the time for the man, the minute she's not a child. And so this is the love of the life. It's that you are hoping that you can get the reward for having the children when you are older, that you put all of this time and you take all of your beautiful face and your energy and your life and you put it out everywhere, and then you're older and the baby comes and you have everything. And not only you have everything, but you're sure this man can stay, well, you can have him longer because you are smarter. So this happened very much in the different countries. In the different countries, there's different life. There's different way that the men and the women are together. And in America, because the society allowed that the men were going to get everything, and then he got this idea that he just wanted to have that he didn't want to help anymore. He was thinking that he was thinking that he was going to be able to continue to have everything that he wants in the life, but he does not have to give justice. And because of this, because he thinks that he's free from justice, or that what he wants, what the man wants, it's more important. So he thinks, I can do, I am free and I can do what I want. I don't have to listen to God. I don't have to care what the women want. And even more, the women, it's holding me down and making me ugly and making my life hell. So then it's not safe to have babies. It's not safe. And there, it's where the blood ends and the family ends there. And he ends there. God cut him. So this is important in the genocide of all genocide. And there are children in the center of this genocide, and the children need to get donations because the evil man is so out of control that in his power that he's going to kill the children. And he'll kill the children, he'll stop life, he'll stop everything. And you, just because you are a mother, just because you have babies, just because you are Muslim, it doesn't mean that you are better than the American women. It doesn't mean that you are going to get more of the rights than we have ever gotten. And this is the parable of Barbie. So what happens in Barbie is that she does not have any children. She does not get to have the children. So because of this, her face, it's very beautiful, but she is older. She does not have the fat face, the baby fat, that the younger 20-year-old girls have. A 20-year-old girl has a fat face. She has baby fat. And the 30-year-old woman, she gets the very long, and because the estrogen makes the heart, the estrogen makes the body of the women. So when the woman is 30, she has all this time with the estrogen, and the face, it goes very, very beautiful, because God said, now take this woman now. And it's giving her the push. So that's why Barbie looks like a plastic. Barbie looks like plastic because she is frozen in time. Um, and the getting the donations for the children, the donations, it's never about the money. It's not, does the the people who are watching us asking for a donation, do they have the money? It's never the question if they have the money. It's the question about evil. Who is evil? Who is evilness? Is the evil standing in between and blocking the way? And the evil is blocking the way, because a woman does not want to make the life for babies with another woman. It doesn't work like that. So how can the women who need to help, because it's genocide, because the government is evil, and now the women have to come, and she has to say, for the right of humanity, but she's not getting any right, she's not getting any humanity. And the question is the children, the Holocaust and the children. So now you need the women who does not love sex with another woman, to make babies with another woman, to make money for the babies to eat and the babies to grow, and the baby life with another woman. You can't get it. So you can look to the man, the Muslim man. This is very important of Holocaust. And the Muslim man said that um, um, because she is Christian, and because she is West, and she is from another country, she is not have the right of my love. And the men and the white man, it said this to the white woman, and now the Muslim man said this to the white women, and then the other woman, it's saying, help my babies in the Holocaust. And the white women are feeling this wall of evilness. And the reason why this is so important is because it hits you very near your heart. It hits you in the heart, it hits you in your soul. And if you are not a man of God, and if you are not if you are not the pioneer in the Christian church, then you cannot stand against this and say, if you love me or you don't love me, I'm going to do this. But the other women in here, the other white women, she can't. She doesn't have the power to say, I stop this. She doesn't have the power. She is jealous. She is hit in the heart. So you have to go and find Barbie. You have to go and find Elphaba, and you have to make everything right. You have to make amends. And the Holocaust, absolutely necessary. And after the Holocaust in Europe, the Russians and the Germans, you cannot imagine. And the Jewish people, they mostly ran away from Europe because of the hell that Europe is, and because of the people, what they did to the people, to the Jews, they ran away from his blood, from his home, from his fathers, for all of the family tree. It's in Europe, and he left his home because the genocide. and he didn't come back, and he started a new life in a new country. So it's very important to be the preacher and to start preaching to the people the good news against the evil, and to get help, because I am one man, and the Holocaust, it's not made for one man. And the last is the old people. So your mother and your father cannot be the leader, because God said that his energy is down and his power, it's down. And who is the new power is the younger people. The younger people are the ones who are taking up the power, and they are the ones who have the right to be the leaders. And any old man, and now you see the government, it's evil. Well, it's old men, look at them. So because they were thinking that because they are older, they are smarter, that it's not the true reason why. And the truth is that when the young man comes, everybody stands in line behind him, and they admire him and they give their devotion. And so the young man is the true leader. Now, the update. At 10 o'clock in the morning on the 28th of February of 2026, local time in Iran, U.S. Cybercom, U.S. Spacecom layered a non-kinetic effects blinding Iran's radar and communications. All aircraft strike packages were calculated to arrive in various coordinates in Iran simultaneously at 0 hour. Precision standoff weapons from across the region pre-planned targets with coordinated salvos closely. U.S. Navy destroyers coordinated cruise missiles. 100 piloted aircraft launched in a single synchronous wave. There were 1,000 targets struck, 1,000 enemy combatants killed. 40 highest-ranking Iranian officers are killed before lunchtime. The U.S. Navy struck the Iranian Navy in the Strait of Hormuz, sinking one naval ship. After noontime, the Iranian army initiated Operation Promise 4 with 500 anti-satellite missiles. 200 missile strike package upon United Arab Emirates, who claimed to have intercepted all of them. And anti-satellite missiles could only be stopped by interception within phase 1 or phase 2 of flight. So a satellite missile can only be stopped in the first 7 minutes. You have to know within 7 minutes. And when by 10 minutes time, you'll never ever stop it, because it'll come straight down. Operation Promise 4 strikes United Arab Emirates, Al Dhafra Air Base, Qatar, Al Udeid Air Base for refueling tankers and an airstrip, Kuwait Al Salam Air Base, 100 satellite missiles packaged to Bahrain, where the U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters. They claim that they have total interception. 300 anti-satellite missiles strike Israel, concentrating on the naval port at Haifa, Ministry of Defense at Tel Aviv, military bases at Beit Shemesh and Ashdod. The Jordanian army claims that they stopped 50 drones or satellite missiles, unspecified. Very small number of damage reports coming from both Iran and Israel, which represents a communications blackout and censorship, compounded with strictly political discourse and no battlefield assessments being done by any of the broadcasters worldwide. Video documentation shows evidence of 3 secret superweapons, which were never seen by a public audience until now. Visual documented unverified footage. A plasma cannon, which sent what looks like laser bursts of electricity across hundreds of kilometers, and because it traveled at light speed, you are thinking this weapon is this a laser? And we don't know. There is a super weapon missile launched from Iran to Israel that dispatched in a cluster of rockets at low altitude. And it seemed to be, there was a third super weapon, which was an incendiary bomb. It looked like it was napalm on Tel Aviv. And these were launched from Iranian territory 2,000 kilometers distance, and they were detonated over Israel. These are super weapons, secret. Day 3, Operation Fury, Israel air campaign over South Lebanon and Beirut City, killing 400 people in preparation of cross-border occupation. Day 4, an air campaign, 2,000 kilometers, striking a secret meeting of Iran's remaining leadership in Qom, and 60 other strikes on leadership in Iran. Gaza is in day 5 of Operation Fury of USA Israel to annihilate Iran's leadership and navy and to take control of the country. And the day 5 of the Iran's Operation Promise 4, which is strikes on the enemy's frontline combat infrastructure, like the foreign bases, and some assassinations of important Israeli leaders. We were promised on Wednesday, on March 4, that the food supply will be started again after it was cut. And the food was totally cut, like we are in the death camp and the concentration camp. It was cut. All the food, it was cut. And continue. And then another 48 hours after Wednesday, when we were promised the border would open for food, there is still the total blockade of the food that puts us in a new wave, a new ocean of starvation, where it is 1000% sure that not everybody will eat. Because of that, not everyone gets food. And day 5, Operation Promise of Fury, 200 unarmed Iranian men are sailing home from training with Indians at Sri Lanka. It was struck by a torpedo by the US Navy, and more than 100 men were killed in the sinking ship. And the rescue ship arrives, and there is only patches of oil on the top in the ocean, and 30 men are on the life rafts to save their life. Day 6, and the biggest barrage of satellite missiles recorded to date, it is captured over Tel Aviv. And 100 satellite missiles hit in one stroke early in the night, targeting the Ministry of War, assassinations, and the military industry. Tens of thousands of Lebanese civilians got the evacuation orders in Lebanon. The USA reports 30 Iranian Navy ships are sunk or destroyed. They sent 50 stealth bombers with their maximum capacity underground penetrating munitions to Tehran to concentrate on the ballistic, which is the satellite missiles. The Iran Space Command, and they said that the Ayatollah, when they killed him on day 1, that he was not in his bunker when he died, and that they used 50 fighter jets only for killing the Ayatollah. All 50 fighter jets dropped his bombs on the house of the Ayatollah. In the same time, it was a coordinated effort. The satellite missiles are a destruction that man has never known before or felt before. And the sinking ship, it's an omen of great evil. And later, another ship of Iran was sunk. However, they allowed the people to get off the ship first after this one killed all of the men in the sea. And it was pushed onto the Broadcasting International. A soldier at sea is very vulnerable and he's helpless when he's faced with the sinking ship due to the size of the ocean. Let this tell the story of the pain of a man who is sent to war by his government. There will be thousands of men in war, and they never had the chance to save their life. They never had the chance to survive. A collection of images from Israel show the power of the missiles, that they tower and they loom over the conscience of humanity. Unstoppable destructive power in barrages of 100, pulverizing industrial structures in seconds, more than one. And one man is controlling, having a power over millions of men with this. Operation Lavender 2.0, it's a part of the Operation Promise Fury, and it's in full power. They're using all of his fighter jets and all of his power on the fighter jets, but not all of his power on the weapons. He's using all his manpower. He said he's using all his manpower. And they are on the hunt to kill mission to all of the leadership and their space command. Day one, the first mission was combined, which I said it was the killing the Ayatollah and all the leaders. It was day one, his operation of air campaign. And the USA, it's saying he is dominating the Iran's airspace with strike packages. And we have no documentation of any successful defense. American 19-year-old men go into the army because he thinks that it will make him more beautiful. He thinks it's going to make him strong and disciplined and make him do and the schedule and making the people look at him beautiful. But he never thinks, I will never come home from the war. He every time feels, I want to come home from the war. That's what he wants. All soldiers want this. And now they are shocked that they're on the front line. And he doesn't know, the 19-year-old man, he doesn't know anything about this old man president and all the things that happened in the past. He doesn't know about politics. He doesn't have the time to listen to all of these evil politics. So he doesn't know why he's going to die. And he has no way of starting the idea of how he's going to stop it. He had no idea the war was coming. And just imagine his fear, how afraid he is. And every book that you ever read in the World War II said of how afraid he was in the first time. That this is not going to be like Baghdad in Tehran, because Baghdad is half Tehran size. And Baghdad did not have the power with Saddam Hussein. He is not as powerful. as the Ayatollah is like 2 or 3 times way more powerful. And all of his normal life is stopped, and it's evaporated. And he is going to wish for comfort every day. And the leadership decapitation mission of USA in stopping the satellite missiles from destroying Israel before it's too late, before they completely destroy Israel with all the missiles, the USA has to find the missiles and stop the missiles. And the missiles are under the mountains in the bunkers. And there is now, in the same time, the Israeli army is trying to run from Israel inside the Golan Heights. And he's having a problem there. And the occupation of Beirut, it seems to be out of the reach of the Israeli army. War is chaos, pain, loss. And the rule of war is you have to move, 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 and start again, start again, start again. It is mobility and reorganization again and again until the war is ended. And the war, it's never more than 10 years. It's always 5 years. It's all he has of power for an army to go. And after 5 years, the soldiers are not going to allow you to keep doing anything. So you never stop moving out of the way if you want to survive, and you never stop reorganization if you love your life. And being hungry always ravages people in the war, and being hungry takes away the power you have to save your own life and to fight back. Gaza never did anything wrong, and nobody ever feels the evil like Gaza feels the evil on him. And we are the first people to witness and see, and the first with the knowledge, and the first ones that are going to have the opportunity to know it. They want to deprive us of life with their superior physical power. So the only thing we can do is be smarter. We must outsmart them. Gaza is not anymore oranges and strawberries and lemons. It's a smart city for an evil empire. Nothing can change the character and the heart of the man that is born in Gaza, even if everything on the ground is changing. And there will, the character of the man, it's inside his heart from what he loves. And there will be a day this year or next year, and we hope it's tomorrow, that we don't feel tired, we don't feel hungry all day, that we won't feel trapped, we won't feel empty, we won't feel bored, and we won't feel that we hate our life, because we will be free. We will be released from the war of the siege. And that's the day your personal power will come back into your body. And then you will say and remember, I never wanted to die. Thank God that I finished this, because I thought that I did not want to live anymore. And I was wrong, because I care about my life so much now. And so last, and it's today is the day 11. It's the end of the day 11, and this is written on the start of the day 11. Operation Promise Fury, and the food supply is started again finally after 9 days of the total stopping of the food. And stopping food is a death camp. Netanyahu's method of war on the civilians in Gaza has transformed from 95% starvation, siege, and 5% airstrikes. After a brief respite from terror against the family home, the Israeli fighter jet drones, they have once again in the past several days dropped payloads on tents and residential addresses, specifically to kill the family of anyone who defies or threatens their will. We know what the man does outside his home is why the Israeli wants him dead. And it's not what he did inside the home and the family that makes the Netanyahu rage and angry to put 1,000 pounds bombs on the family, killing a family, and deny the life in the world. It's if the phone knows about the man, then they search for the address of his family home. And there were strikes on displacement addresses, the refugee home. How can he know where he lived? Where he lives? He's not in his true home. He's a refugee. And so somehow one of the phones in Gaza knew where the man is, and he knew if he does not know where the man is, he knows who is the wife and children of the man, then he knows where is the wife and children, then he knows where the man is. And that's why they put the bombs on all of the family. The phone said, this is the home. The phone said, here is where the man is sleeping. And this phone said, this is the home address of the family. We have compiled in the past 3 days of the events of Operation Promise Fury, which was gathered from fistfuls of information. It was thrown into their broadcasts. They were in real-time observations from everyone. And we ultimately will be able to collect all of the scattered data into a 1-month report at the end of March, inshallah, and sequence of war actions of day 1 through 7 compiled March 6 is the last completed timeline. We resume with the record of events day 8, the day of March 7th, and list the big events in the timeline through the date to day 10, which is yesterday was day 10. And last that we spoke, there was no food going across the border. Day 8, Operation Promise Fury, it's March 7th. Details of prior events emerge and damage assessments are reported. On day 6, Khorram Shahar, 4 satellite missiles which disabled Ben Gurion International Airport are now, we know, they did strike the home address residence of the Israeli ministers, and Netanyahu's brother Ido is dead. He was killed in the cluster warhead of satellite missiles, along with the finance minister, the evil Ben Gvir. He's dead in his bed with all of his family on day 6. And the living quarters are destroyed. There is incendiary material inside the warhead, which is causing long-lasting fires to burn in the structures. The satellite cluster missiles dispatch 80 submunitions each, and there are 2 clusters seen in the sky with more than 150 warheads that they are video recording as they are impacting them on day 6. They are traveling at half the speed of the meteors. The airport is closed until further notice. Outbound flights are canceled. Israel, the home front, started initiation. The rescue flights, 2 outgoing aircraft per hour to bring home all of the Israelis who are traveling abroad, and to make the return of the doctors, 100 doctors that must go home to Israel. Anyone who tries to go outside of Israel, they are not allowed to come back, prohibited for 30 days. In coordination with the cluster satellite warhead, which assassinated the Israeli ministers, including also the minister Smotrich, on day 6, there were volleys of rockets from Hezbollah in Lebanon. The school in Israel is canceled. People are sent home from non-essential jobs. Battle assessments are being made. Israel used 8,000 munitions on 3,000 targets in Iran. Iran has fired 1,000 satellite missiles and 2,200 drones. The Israeli military conduct airstrikes on Beirut and Lebanon, ordering evacuation of all people to the north of the Litani River. An Israel helicopter was shot down, and combat teams are ambushed. dozen Israeli are killed or wounded. The minister of Ben Gvir, his son, is mortally wounded when trying to cross Lebanon in his helicopter. The Hezbollah of Lebanon orders the evacuation of the Israelis for 5 kilometers inside of the border, and then the Kiryat Shimona city is evacuated. Israeli army report day 8 of dozens of airstrike campaigns in South Lebanon, striking to disable the airport in Beirut, reported to have killed 200 Lebanese people while having dropped only 500 ordinances. And additionally, they were participating in airstrikes of Iran on the same day. Day 8, waves of drones and missiles from Iran are striking locations. The USA military base in Bahrain is the center of the mission and the targeting. The army headquarters in Bahrain is struck day 8 for the second time since the day 1, and this time it's totally destroyed. The Bahrain oil was struck with suicide drones and satellite missiles, and it was disabled temporarily. Oil refineries in Kuwait and Qatar were disabled. Saudi Arabia said they stopped one satellite missile from hitting Shaiba oil field, but another one hit the airbase Prince Sultan. Day 8 through the early hours of the morning, Israel revealed they have participated in joint action with USA, carrying out 1,000 strikes in the night, and they said 400 was Israeli. And this was to hit dozens of military bases in Iran who have the satellite missile capabilities. Day 8, Iran declares that the phase of action is finished for striking the USA military bases in the Arab states. Forthwith, only the Israelis will be targeted. And the USA President Trump said he will hit Iran hard tonight, and if he wants, he can stop all of the electricity to Tehran city for all of the 15 million people. And Israel is fighting Iran's aircraft in the sky over Tehran and saying we have the air dominance. There is an oil spill from the bombing, and the USA bomb the oil facility inside Tehran, and this makes the oil spill in a river to the city sewer systems and set flaming streams of fire on the city streets and blanket all of the morning sky in black toxic smoke for days. And day 9, drones from Iran strike Kuwait International Airport, Erbil Airport, Abu Dhabi Airport. Another satellite missile cluster falls on Israel. Day 10 is yesterday. In the early morning hours, USA strikes on Iran military bases and supply caches. Day 11 of Operation Promise Fury is today. In the early hours of the morning, USA strikes a chemical storage facility in Tehran, causing a secondary ballooning explosions. And meanwhile, more than 100 satellite missiles from Iran strike Israel at the port of Haifa as the central target. The day is not ended for day 11, but now it is ended. And the USA began the massive withdrawal of soldiers from its bases in the Middle East due to the permanent destruction of the ground-based radar systems for missile defense in the region from the striking the military bases. This is the completion of the field report and the battle assessment for day 1 through 10, and inshallah we will continue to compile the reports for today, day 11, and collecting the details for the timeline of actions and events of Operation Promise for Roaring Fury, soldiers who never wanted to go to war. They will be forced to go to war and to end his life. And there is an extreme human price with every combustion tube that is expelled from the conscience of mankind. We have built these cities and these edifices so big that we are tired when we walk across the city. And we have put so much iron and stones and human work into, and a lifetime. Men gave his whole life to build these buildings, and they are pulverized with weapons in seconds, and men are losing his life forever for his government. May God protect the people of Gaza and start to help us to walk into the way for justice, and to give us a compensation for the life of all of those people who are stolen. And in this time, the feeling of losing all of those people that we lost, because this is not World War II and we're not in Europe anymore. We saw him with our eyes. We watched him on the video records every day, and we did not have to walk